extremely sad that this happened, and on New Year's Eve.
For something like this to happen on this day, oh God.
Neighbors say that the screams were hard to hear as families learned that they were going to be without their loved ones heading into the new year. They say that something needs to change.
I don't feel safe down here. That's why we're trying to get out of their neighborhood now.
Jimmy Coco was just a few blocks down this morning when shots were fired on Hamilton Avenue in Homewood. Police rolled up to the scene to find a woman shot in the head.
It's a sad day right now, and I feel sorry for the family.
Gail Brown lives in one of the buildings next door and says she woke up to screaming.
Well, we woke up to a man screaming that he had been shot, and when we went to the window, we saw flashing lights.
SWAT officers were called in to search the home where they found another woman and a man dead inside. Brown says she'll never forget hearing the heartache from the family.
The tragic mourning and grieving, it was like gnashing of teeth.
Brown says she's no stranger to gun violence. She's lived in Homewood all of her life. She herself knows what it's like to lose family and believes there needs to be a cultural shift to create a safer community.
Parts with our churches, being involved in the lives of people and helping them see who they are, who their value, what their worth is, being able to help them see them beyond themselves, and then be able to give beyond themselves. All of those things to me add up to helping someone see their value and see their worth. And I think we have just devalued life. We have not given life the proper value that it needs to have.
Inside this row house, police found the body of Nandy Fitzgerald, Tatiana Hill, and 12-year-old Denzel Nowlin Jr.
28-year-old Nandy Fitzgerald was an amazing mom who loved her boys more than anything. She was an amazing daughter, sister, and friend. Her smile was priceless. Nandy had 2 surviving children, a 6-year-old son and a 1-year-old son that are left without their mom and big brother. It was just 6 months ago, on June 23rd, 2021, that she was mourning her son after a trip to Hershey Park didn't go as planned. He was swimming at an indoor hotel pool and went underwater and never came back up. Nandy stated that she would never be the same after what she witnessed and still struggled with the loss up until the day of the murder of her and her eldest son. Sadly, I wasn't able to find much information on the third victim, Tatiana Hill.
Everybody not to be up in arms and sick and tired of this is extremely alarming and upsetting to me.
A large crowd filled with heartbreak lined Garrett Street in Homewood, the neighborhood where the victims in the New Year's Eve shooting lived. 4 a.m. Friday, Pittsburgh police found 3 people, 2 28-year-old women and a 13-year-old boy, dead in a home on Hamilton Avenue. 28-year-old Nandy Fitzgerald was found first inside with a gunshot wound to her head. Neighbors heard screaming, heartache, and sirens as SWAT located 2 more victims, 28-year-old Tatiana Hill and 13-year-old Denzel Nowlin Jr. The young teen was a longtime participant in community youth sports and was loved by his family and coaches.
This is a kid who started in our organization at 4 or 5 years old. The kid who will be first up to the field, last one to leave, was known around the community. It's a tragedy.
Family, friends, and the community in mourning marched several blocks to the Homewood football field.
I felt like I lost one of my own kids, man. Like, I cried. I'm a man. It takes a lot to make me cry. I cried, yo. I was hurt, and I'm still hurt.
Because what they did to mine, don't nobody deserve all that. Like, whatever. I'm going to have some sleepless nights. I think I'm going to leave Homewood, and I'm going to miss everybody.
Denzel and his young mother were among the 3 killed in the tragic shooting.
Manhunt underway for the suspect in a triple murder on New Year's Eve. And tonight, KDK has learned the man police are looking for is also a suspect in several other shootings. Police have a warrant for Ronald Steve, a man they call extremely dangerous.
KDK investigator Andy Sheehan has been looking into the man's history. He has the new concerns from police.
Tonight, they're looking for 29-year-old Ronald Steve, who remains at large. Steve is no stranger to police. They've been looking to speak with him since November 22nd, when his 4-year-old son, Johnny Lane, shot and killed himself with a gun here in this row house on Negley Avenue. According to an affidavit, police that day found 2 guns in Steve's upstairs bedroom. Steve was arrested on criminal homicide charges in 2015 in the murder of a 19-year-old man in Homewood. Though those charges were later dropped for lack of evidence, police